Hello and welcome to the fifth episode of Gym Rants. And in this episode, I'm going to ask a question. It's more divergent. I don't think there's a clear answer, yes or no. But it was a question that I have been asking for a good amount of time, and people that I talk to seems to agree with me on certain parts of it. But the question is, have we gotten weak? And I'm not talking when I say have we gotten weak with the average citizen, like the person that comes to the gym just to do cardio, just to feel good, because they don't have specific measurable goals as to I want to build this much muscle, I want to increase my bench or deadlift by this amount. They just want to feel good. They just want to come to the gym, work out, and that's all. And I have really huge respect for these people, but the people that I'm talking here is more the strength like side of the things, more strength community, bodybuilding, strongman, powerlifting, people that have targets in their life, like specific measurable targets and long-term targets. And why I'm asking this is that there are two aspects to it. You can look at it from a psychological standpoint, you can look at it from a physical standpoint. And I want to talk about both in this video. So I believe, and this is the only time I'm going to include the average person or just a novice, beginner, strength interested person. It's the fact that when we see someone doing crazy things with crazy amount of weights, we have the tendency, and I'm talking for these people, we have the tendency to say, oh, that's so stupid. Oh, what a meathead. Oh, you're going to die by the time you're 60. Oh, you're using steroids. You're lucky if you can go past 40. And I think this is really wrong. I think this is like extremely wrong. And why I believe that it is wrong is that these people made a decision about their life. And I'm not just talking about starting steroids or something. These people made a decision about the road that they want to go, and that only concerns themselves. And what I again want to say is when someone is doing, let's say, extreme amount of weights like 440 kilogram on deadlifts or squats, believe me, these people are not doing it to live a long and healthy life. The example of Ronnie Coleman is never ending. It's like, oh, Ronnie looked like this, Ronnie was this strong, Ronnie looked like this, and then now he's on a wheelchair. Yes, but he's Ronnie Coleman. And I am pretty sure, and here I'm speaking on the behalf of Ronnie Coleman, but I don't know if anyone asked this to him or not, but I'm pretty sure he will do all of these again in a heartbeat because he's Ronnie Coleman. His accomplishments, his name, everyone knows him. He's a legend in this field. And when you take this into account, I'm talking for myself here. If I'm going to be 60 or 50 in a bad state, and I have made a huge name for myself, many people have idolized me, and I've made so great accomplishments. I would rather live that life than to be 90, 95, just lived a really average life and not at all achieved or like people idolized me. And that's just me. And I believe this is the thing with many people in this industry as well. They're trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to push their limits and challenge themselves to be better and inspire other people. And here, the goal when you're doing yokes, when you're doing deadlifts and squats, is obviously not to live a long and healthy and beautiful life. It's stupid if you think that way, if you ask me. Of course, I know that lifting 300 kilos off the ground is not the healthiest thing for my body, no matter what type of form I do with it. Of course, but I'm not doing this sport to be healthy. If I was, I would just go to the gym, do a bit cardio, just a little bit weights, maybe swimming, maybe running. Of course, I wouldn't load all this weight and muscle on my body. And I think that's really one of the main points that people are missing when you say, oh, you're going to die. Oh, you're not healthy. Oh, this is stupid. You don't have to understand, but just understand that you don't understand and just let these people go. Because also explaining to people as to why you're doing this is so exhausting because the people doesn't understand anyways. Of course, there are things that I don't understand as well when I look at other people and the way they live. it's their life and it's not up for me to understand. If I'm not doing it, then why does it bother me as to how a person lives their life? So that's the psychological part of the things. Have we gotten weaker? I believe so, because we started looking for answers in something that clearly doesn't have the correct answer. Like, I want to live longer, I want to live healthy, then why am I doing yoke carries? I don't think there's an answer for that, but it gives me mental health. It makes me happy. That's all there is to it. You cannot have it all. You cannot win it all, I believe. And that's one thing. And when you look at the things from a physical standpoint, have we gotten weaker? I definitely believe that we have gotten weaker, because I'm looking at comments on videos with people doing extraordinary things. I see someone lifting 400 kilos off the ground. I see someone doing 500. And even with myself, I'm looking at the video of me doing 155 kilos on strict press, and the comments are like, maybe try to focus on form. This is bad for you. Oh, this is going to break your back. And don't forget that form is really important. Guys, if someone is doing these extraordinary amounts of weights, make sure that they know what form is, make sure that they have the structure set, they're extremely strong. They didn't get where they got to by just being stupid. So when you see someone going max effort on deadlift and the weight is like 400 kilos and the form doesn't look like your textbook deadlift form, like the ones that you see on Instagram with skeletons going up and down, maybe don't assume that this person is stupid and say, oh, you should focus on the form, because it really is difficult to have picture perfect form when you're going max effort. And I think this is a really stupid thing to say to someone when they're going max effort, when they're doing something extraordinary. Oh, maybe you should focus on the form. Yeah, well, thank you. I tried. I do focus on the form with lighter weights, let's say. Of course, if it's completely unhealthy and if it's injuring you and if you're not in that huge upper levels of pulling like 300, 400, and your form looks really bad with really average weights like 80 kilos and 100 kilos on deadlift, and that's something needs to be made there. But it's not just form. You just have to get stronger to be able to pull that weight with better form. And that's the conversation. I think, especially nowadays, since we started focusing completely on form and making everything picture perfect, we're missing the more important points if you want to get strong. If you want to do this sport to have picture perfect form, cool, do it. Just focus on the form. But if you want to do this to get stronger, well, start building strength with form, and these two are combined and they follow each other. But you cannot just say, just focus on the form, forget about strength, just focus on strength, forget about form. This doesn't work out, it's intertwined, and I think it is really easy to understand this. And I feel like majority of people are really losing time over things like this. And again, when I look at the comments, it's like, oh, you're going to get a hernia. If hernia is associated with lifting really heavy things with perhaps bad form, then why does the majority of people that I know that has hernias live the most sedentary lifestyle out there? Like, the people that I know that have really bad hernias and fight with bad back pain, and let's be honest, all of us are fighting with back pain every now and then. Doesn't matter if you go to the gym or not. I think it's just something that happens when you're past a certain age. But the people that have hernias that I know are the ones that don't even go to the gym. Or if they do, they live like a really simple workout routine. Like, the people that I know that are just sitting down, laying down, maybe carrying water bottles every now and then, have hernias. And why is that so? How can we avoid hernias? How can we avoid having back problems? Well, depending on these people, you should move, but you should not move too much, because when you move too much and lift too much, you also get hernias. I think we should just understand that blaming back pain and hernias, specifically on lifting heavy weights, is really something a weak person would do. Because, of course, when you see me doing Zercher squats or Zercher deadlifts or yoke carries, and then you say, well, that's probably not good for his back. Believe me, I'm not doing it for back rehabilitation. And by the way, it feels good on my back when I stretch it with Zercher deadlifts, but that's a whole different conversation. I think we really have gotten weak. We have gotten scared of doing certain things because we're scared for our backs or scared for our health. But I think we are just way too scared and way too obsessed with things like form. Because form comes with strength, strength comes with form. And these two are intertwined. You cannot have one without having the other. So, and injuries are part of the game. It happens. That's what I tell to people is like, oh, you can get injured by doing heavy weights. Yes, you can also get injured throwing garbage to the bin. It happens. It's unfortunately part of the game. But I would rather have a strong body so I can prevent injuries on my day-to-day life than to be scared of getting injured and not do anything whatsoever or just play safe with everything. And in the end, get injured doing something else anyways. It's just part of the game. It is also like proven that if you strengthen your neck muscles, you're more likely to survive a car crash. And I would rather do that than to be scared that something is going to happen to me and don't train. I think it's I think it's just really obvious in this sense that we have gotten weak. And just because we have the weak mentality, we love bringing people down as well. There's so much information on the internet, and I'm saying this on every video by now. And that brings a lot of misinformation as well. And a lot of people selling the wrong ideas as to, oh, you should do this that way, you should do that that way. And oh, my favorite YouTuber said deadlifts are stupid, they have too much risks. Yeah, perhaps. But I mean, if you're in this industry, if you're following a strength routine, then you have to take risks at some point. Let's say you're competing and you're scared of taking risks, well, you're not going to win. And that's as simple as it gets. No one that has huge success in this industry got to where they are without taking risks. And I think you just need to know what you stand for, what you want to do, and then decide your route. But also, when you're talking to other people, leave them alone. And because this is an individual sport, this is not a team sport at the end of the day. And yeah, since this was more open-ended, this was just me talking and sharing my ideas. And if I again have to convert this and say yes or no, have we gotten weaker? Yes. Both psychologically and physically, we have gotten weaker. I believe the previous generations of powerlifters, strongmen, and bodybuilders were doing so much more amazing things that when we look at them now, we cannot even comprehend. I'm looking at certain strongman events from back in the day. I cannot comprehend how these people did it. And I imagine myself doing it in a commercial gym, and probably someone will come up to me and say, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, that's bad. And yeah, that was episode 5. Um, Join me in the comments to keep the discussion going, and I'll see you guys the next time.